right, Gary, thanks very much. Right now, we want to take you live to Chicago. There is NFL expansion news. ESPN's Andrea Kramer is standing by in the Windy City, and she has it for us. Andrea.
Yes, thank you very much. And the NFL will be expanding for the first time since 1976. An announcement due in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm joined by our Fred Edelstein, and he is going to tell us who the new expansion team in the NFL is going to be. Fred?
Well, Andrea, an NFL executive coming out of the meeting room told me that there's going to be an announcement here that it's going to be one team, that it's going to be Charlotte. It's going to be the Charlotte Panthers. That executive gave me a hat, a Charlotte Panthers hat. He gave me a Charlotte Panthers T-shirt, so let the party begin in Charlotte because they are obviously now a part of the NFL.
And will there only be one team selected as far as you're concerned, being Charlotte?
It appears that what happened was that there was only a consensus in the committee and in the league at this point for one team. There are a lot of deliberations between Baltimore and St. Louis. The situation with the two St. Louis groups, there was some real strong sentiment for Baltimore inside the committee and inside the league. It appears from what I'm being told that they could not come to a decision between St. Louis and Baltimore, but Charlotte had it all the way. And if what this executive told me is right, and again, giving me the T-shirt and the hat, Paul Tagliabue is going to announce that the Charlotte Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, are the new entry in the National Football League. And I would suspect that as far as whether it's St. Louis or Baltimore down the road, we may get that tomorrow. We may get that in a couple of weeks. I'm sure Commissioner Tagliabue will have the rest on that.
Well, as we said, the first time the NFL is expanding since 1976. And, in fact, back in 1974, when they actually made the expansion news, there were only about 30 or 40 cameras. 30 or 40 people here. Well, you can see it's vastly different this year. Also, the difference being a $16 million entry fee in '74, only a cool $140 million this year. For Fred Edelstein and Andrea Kramer, let's head back to the studio.
All right, Andrea, and thanks very much. Again, official confirmation we hope to come down in just a matter of minutes. And again, as you heard, might just be one team announced tonight. We could get a couple of days away from announcing that second expansion team. We'll keep you updated on everything going on in Chicago with NFL expansion and also with the NHL. 6 games in action tonight. This is ESPN's National Hockey Night. All right, Gary, thanks very much. We understand that NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue is approaching the podium in Chicago for NFL expansion news. Let's go to Chicago now.
The Panthers will be owned and operated by Richardson Sports, of which Jerry Richardson is the general partner. The major criteria that the membership used were the market, the fan support, the stadium, the ownership group, and it was a unanimous recommendation of the committee and the unanimous vote of the membership. As far as the second team goes, the 30th franchise, we will be making that decision at a league meeting on November 30th. The committee was unable to reach a consensus. There was support for each of the 4 communities within the committee, and the committee concluded that no amount of further discussion today would have produced a consensus on the second franchise, so they committed that there will be a meeting on November 30th, not to be delayed beyond that date and not to be adjourned until this second franchise is selected. The cities will not, and those applicant groups will not be required in any way, shape, or form to make any changes to their applications. There will not be a need for further presentations. There will be a decision made on a meeting to commence on November 30th and not to adjourn until the decision is made. I met with the representatives of the other 4 cities and those ownership groups just a few minutes ago and explained that to them and personally spoke with them and answered some questions that they had. At this point, I think I'll introduce Jerry Richardson.
the first thing I'd like to say that obviously this is a dream come true for me and my partners, who are many of are here tonight, and especially a dream come true for 10 million people back in the Carolinas that have gone to bat for us and worked been with us every step of the way, and I'm very grateful for that. And also, if there's I don't know where there's a camera that looks like it's from the Carolinas, but I want to talk to that camera if I could. All of you people that bought all of those 40,000 plus PSLs, you helped make history today. Pat yourself on the back. When I get back to Charlotte, I'm going to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I think the next thing I'd like to say is this has been a very long process. As I mentioned to you earlier today, it's been very difficult for the NFL. I think they've created a fair process. And I know how pleased I am, and I also know there's a lot of heartache for the cities that don't have a decision yet. And the thing that's also another heartache is that everybody can't be selected, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm very pleased for the people in the Carolinas, and that's all I have to say, Paul.
Well, the thoughts of Jerry Richardson, now an owner of a National Football League franchise, Charlotte or the Carolinas, whatever you want to say, the Panthers. But that is the situation. So Fred Edelstein was right on the money. He said Charlotte would get a team, and then we would hear maybe at a later date about a second time. Again, November 30th is when the owners will get together again to decide on that second expansion team, and they will not leave until they finish up again on that second expansion team. Charlotte, now a member of the National Football League. We'll take a timeout, take a break. This is ESPN's National Hockey Night.